Hey y'all, welcome to Freedom Makers. I'm Amanda, and today I'm really excited to show you what I'm doing with all of our extra produce. So right now everything from the garden is coming in, but nothing is coming in enough every day to can a whole canner load of any one thing. So last night we harvested beans, lima beans, cowpeas, green beans, tomatoes, bell peppers, banana peppers, herbs, a little everything. But not enough of anything really to even mess with canning. So I thought, hey, I'm just going to make some veggie soup. Hopefully I made enough to have dinner tonight too. We'll see. But I'm going to can 7 quarts. And then we're going to put all of it into the pantry. And that's still going to be, you know, from our garden. The only things that didn't come from the garden are the onion and the carrots, I think. And I put a can of tomato sauce in there as well. So we don't grow onions yet. Well, we tried last year, but it wasn't too successful. I'm going to have to play with that for a few years, I think, before I have enough to just really be growing them on our own. And then I also picked up some of those little petite carrots, like the little baby carrots. I bought a 3-pound bag the other day, and I don't think we're going to go through them all before they go bad, so I used a couple handfuls of that as well. And then the tomato sauce. I didn't can that myself. So everything else in the pot came from the garden. I've got it all chopped and all in a big pot right now. I know that when I fill this pot up, I normally can do 7 quarts and have a little extra. So I also have some leftovers in our fridge from last night's dinner and the night before that after we're done canning, I can make another pot of soup, like with whatever's left over, so I'm going to show you that too. I'm really excited about it. Okay, this is my biggest pot, and as I stir it, you can kind of see all that's in there. I had a huge zucchini, green beans, cowpeas, tomatoes, okra. Here's some okra. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. From the garden. What else? Lima beans, potatoes. These potatoes came from, these are the harvested potatoes. The celery is from my garden. There's parsley and oregano, basil, and thyme. All of that is from our garden. Sunshine singing in the background. And then of course I said the carrots and the onion is from the store, but those were both organic too, so I'm comfortable with that. And then the tomato sauce that I dumped in here. The rest of the liquid in here is water, so it's just some tomato sauce, and that was organic, and the water came from the Berkey. So I think this is going to taste amazing. I did put pepper in this, but you don't want to put salt in this when you know you're going to can, because you want to use canning salt, and I'm going to measure that into each jar. Now I have my hot soup in my hot jar, as you can see it's steaming there. I'm using canning salt. I'm going to do a teaspoon in each jar. Again, you want to use your canning salt. You don't want to just make this like regular soup. You would use like your iodized salt or whatever, or sea salt or whatever. I prefer to can only with canning salt. So I'm putting a teaspoon in each jar. Now I'm just wiping my rims with a paper towel with some vinegar on it. I always do this. I just want to make sure that my jars are super clean, that seal is going to take. It's very important. You also want to just be very aware of what you're doing in the kitchen when you're canning. Cleanliness is everything when you're canning. The safety of your jars is going to be just as high as your kitchen is clean, in my opinion. So you want to just make sure that you are impeccably clean when you do this. This also gives you an opportunity to check your jars one last time to make sure there are no nicks around the edge, no imperfections. Anything like that, a chip or anything, will cause your jars to not seal, because it won't suck down directly onto the glass, because there will be a little pocket there. So this gives you an opportunity to also check and make sure just one last time. You should check when you're washing them as well, but I have actually noticed things doing this that I didn't notice when I washed. So just something to be aware of. Before I wiped with vinegar, I also used this to debubble my jars. I forgot to put that on camera. So now I've got my lids hot, my lids and my rings. I always heat up in the canner beforehand. So those are hot now. I'm going to put these on. I'll screw these on finger tight and put them in the canner. While my canner's coming up to pressure, I'm just gonna keep stirring and simmering what was left. This is what was left. And I think I've got some vegetables that were leftovers that I'm gonna put in this. This is what we'll have for dinner. I just took all the soup out of the canner, all 7 quarts, nothing busted, everything hopefully will seal. We will see later. I did that at 10 pounds of pressure for my altitude at for 85 minutes. So that's 1 hour and 25 minutes. I followed a recipe from Ball. And I don't feel like it's as important to get all the measurements correct as it is to get the time correct. The only thing I would suggest never changing is whether or not a meat is in a dish. So your time can pretty much stay the same as long as it's all vegetables. I didn't put chicken broth in it or anything. If you add meat to this, you need to look up a recipe that is specific for meat. Meat has to be pressured for longer and sometimes at a higher pressure. So you need to check all that out. Altitude matters, so you need to check that out yourself as well. Do your research, really understand canning. If you're going to start canning and preserving your own food, you're putting the safety of your family in your hands, and when you do that, you need to make sure you understand what you're doing. So for my altitude, it was 10 pounds of pressure, and I did this for 85 minutes. I'm going to list the link to that recipe below. It's at freshpreserving.com. That is the Ball and Kerr website for canning recipes. So I'm going to send you guys over there. Make sure you check that out before you attempt this. So thank you guys for stopping by. If you can vegetable soup or any soups at your house, I would love to hear from you and know what you guys are doing at your homes as well. Let me know in the comment section below, and I will catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for stopping by. Bye, y'all.